Aloha, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, today's subject is something that usually we really don't want to talk about, but it is a subject that we do need to, you know, talk and how we feel because this is the most hard kind of stress, hard kind of anxiety, and hard kind of heartbreak. When we have somebody so dear that just passed away, we all have different ways of mourning. And today I really want to talk about this subject is because mourning comes in so many different forms and shape and time. Some people can just go on and really kind of does their mourning in an inward direction. Some people do their mourning in an outward direction. And some people just don't know how to cope with it. And that sometimes leads to, unfortunately, to their own death. Because their heartache and their pain is so unbearable. I was just reading this one article about, this two sheriff where the husband died and then the wife died and, right after one another. And we see it all the time. Sometimes when elderly couple, one dies and then soon after the other one pass away. Because sometimes our heart aches so much that it's really hard to mend. And when that happens, some other parts of our body, our organs, our systems starts to just mourn with it. And so this is a really, really sensitive subject. And sometimes when people are just being unconscious and just being mean, say certain things that is just not nice. And especially now with this pandemic and people have different opinion, and because of when one person was anti, and they die, and people, say mean things, like, oh, good for her because she wasn't, into the shots, or good for her, she deserved to die, or these kind of things I feel is very, very unnecessary comments. And where does these people mind goes to when somebody just pass away, whether they believe in a certain things, because it is their belief system. And I was just talking about this last night to my client, and I said to one word to him, because he goes on and on and on and on and on and doesn't get to the point. And I'm like, where are you going with this? I don't understand. And I said, listen, okay, in life, we have this one thing that we're all born into. It's called the free will. And the free will is given to us, a free pass on how we're going to live our will on this earth. And it may take so many journeys and so many layers to finally find our path, our peacefulness, our bliss, and we feel our ikigai, which means our meant to be passion, our way of life of going forward to really be smooth. And when I say smooth, obviously there's going to be some bad times and some good times, and some times where we just need to, we follow that path. We enter that path, and we enter that path of unknown, and we experience heartaches, good aches, back aches, stomach aches, stress ache, and so forth. And so a lot of these things, what I'm saying is really on how we live our life, because our life is, we don't know when is that time to go. And it is a very sad time on people that's living there who's feeling and mourning, but that's when we have to kind of let go, because there's different level of journey of when the soul goes up, you know. And when the soul goes up, the aura also comes within. Well, look at this. I didn't even know this. And so there's different level of auras, taking them to the next level and the next level and the next level, because of the frequency that they bring in, that light. And when we hear the light is when we feel that energy just really toasting into our soul, our body. And so really, when we have this, one thing that I always feel is never wish bad upon people. We all feel that way, because that becomes sometimes our instinct behavior, like, oh, if so-and-so passed away, oh, well, you know. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes it just falls out. That thought, that mind, that frame. And when it does, because we're only human to do that sometimes, when we just dislike somebody or we have negative energy or negative feeling, because nobody is feeling always the same, that everybody gotta love everybody. We try to live in that mindful way, but sometimes, you know, the best of us takes within us and we wish bad upon people. And when that feeling does happen, or when you do read that in the social media, or, you know, in the news or media or whatever outlet, if it does fall out, take a moment to wish it happy life, a safe journey, and thank you. Because sometimes when we keep ignoring those kind of things, and, you know, no matter how much you may be disliking that person, or been in an argument, or just despise that person, you know, or you're going through some kind of divorce or some kind of, you know, breakup, or I don't know what it is. But if we kind of just switch the gear and just balance that energy of reciprocating it into a good, positive energy, it makes you feel good. I hate to use the word better person, but a better person, because you just rise above that frequency, that energy level of just wishing it good. And so, you know, right now there is a lot of mourning in every which direction. People are dying every single day, you know, whether it's the virus, or whether it's cancer, whether it's an operation that went bad, or even a natural death. These feelings are there because we have to embrace that feeling inside of us and recognize it. So I gotta take this call from this girl, because she's such a beautiful soul out there in LA. We'll talk to you soon. Aloha. Hello.